So, today we're going to dive into a concept that's totally reshaping how we think about talent, innovation, and what a high-performance team really looks like.
Look, we all know it. In today's ridiculously competitive world, innovation isn't just a buzzword. It's pretty much the only currency that matters. It's what every company is chasing.
But here's the crazy paradox, right? For all the talk about thinking outside the box, our hiring practices, well, they often reward the exact opposite. They reward fitting neatly inside the box. And that brings up a really important question.
All right, so let's get into it. Innovation's untapped frontier. A lot of companies have made huge strides in diversity, which is great, but they're often missing out on the most important frontier of all, the diversity of how we actually think.
And this, right here, is the core of the problem. We're still playing by an old, outdated rulebook. We tend to think that being good at your job is the same as being smooth in a conversation. And we end up filtering out these absolutely brilliant minds who just don't fit that narrow, conventional mold of professional. So how do we break out of this trap? Well, it starts with a pretty radical shift in perspective. We have to move away from these outdated labels and start seeing cognitive strengths for what they are.
And that brings us to the key concept here, neurodiversity. It's this powerful idea that neurological differences, things like autism, ADHD, and dyslexia, are not deficits. They're just natural variations in the human brain. We're talking about different wiring, not defective wiring.
And you can really see the shift on this slide. The old 20th century way, the medical model, was all about seeing deficits, disorders, and demanding compliance. But the new way, the 21st century model, it's all about strengths. It sees variation, it looks for unique superpowers, and it makes inclusion a core part of business strategy.
Now, this isn't just some feel-good theory, not at all. When you really look closer, these neurological variations come packed with highly specialized cognitive skills that can give a company a serious competitive edge. Let's break down a few examples.
Okay, let's start with autism, a neurotype that comes with some truly remarkable cognitive strengths.
So, many autistic professionals have this incredible ability for deep, systematic thinking. We're talking high-level pattern recognition and a meticulous attention to detail that most people just can't match. It's why tech giants like SAP and Microsoft started their Autism at Work programs. They literally found that their autistic software testers were spotting bugs that no one else could see. That makes them absolute powerhouses in fields like data science and cybersecurity.
All right, next up, ADHD. It's a condition that's so often just boiled down to a lack of focus. But what if we've been looking at it completely wrong?
See, the flip side of distractibility can be an intense hyperfocus on things that are interesting. You combine that with a real talent for divergent thinking, connecting ideas that seem totally unrelated. And what you get is a massive strategic asset. It's perfect for entrepreneurship, for creative fields, and especially for crisis management, where you need rapid idea generation. And finally, let's talk about dyslexia, another condition that is so widely misunderstood, but comes with some incredible, often hidden advantages. Research actually shows that dyslexic minds often excel at 3D spatial reasoning and big picture thinking. These are the people who can see the entire forest, not just the individual trees. It's why major firms like EY actively recruit dyslexic individuals. Their ability to build a narrative and do long-term strategic forecasting is off the charts. They are often the visionaries. Okay, so the talent is clearly out there. The big question is, how do organizations actually find it and, just as importantly, nurture it? It means you have to rethink the entire talent pipeline right from the very beginning.
Let's start with the front door, the interview process. The traditional interview is often just a test of social performance, not actual skill. The solution? Just get rid of it. Move to skills-based hiring. Give candidates a work trial, a real-world problem to solve. Let them show you what they can do, instead of just talking about it.
But hiring is really just step one. To keep this amazing talent, you have to build an environment of psychological safety, a place where employees don't feel like they have to mask or hide their true selves. This means training managers, implementing practical changes like quiet zones for different sensory needs, and really learning to curate talent instead of just demanding everyone act the same.
And at the end of the day, this isn't just about doing the right thing. It's about performance. It's about the bottom line. And the data here is absolutely mind-blowing. Let's look at the numbers. Get this. At JP Chase, professionals hired through their neurodiversity program were found to be up to 140% more productive than their neurotypical coworkers. Let that sink in for a second. 140%. That's not a small improvement. That's a total game changer.
And it's not just productivity, it's loyalty. In the tech world, where job hopping is the norm, there's a company called Aspertech, which has a majority autistic workforce. Their employee retention rate? It's over 95%. Turns out, when you let people bring their authentic selves to work, they stick around and deliver incredible results. So, all of this leaves us with one final thought, one question to take with you. The future is going to belong to the organizations that can harness this full spectrum of human thinking. So take a hard look at your own workplace, at your own team. Is it truly built to unlock innovation, or is it still just demanding conformity? The answer to that question might just define your future.